sort of an interesting position here. This is looking up the slope of Little Round Top, but from kind of the wheat field side. This position here is the Valley of Death. That's I think the 6th New Jersey monument peeking out of the trees over there. And this is the backside of Devil's Den, which you don't usually see. You know, you're used to seeing the boulders of Devil's Den. Well, this is kind of the big hill that leads up to the boulders. And then this hill, which has a name that's eluding me at the moment, but this hill here is kind of between Little Round Top and the wheat field. And so the Confederates were eventually coming over this hill towards here into the Valley of Death, and I think just beyond this ridge here, and you can see another monument up at the top there, is where Crawford and Nevin's brigades counterattacked the Confederates before they could make it all the way through the Union line here and essentially severing the Union line from Little Round Top and back up to Cemetery Ridge. So this is kind of a position of the battlefield I've never been to before. The marker here is for the 14th U.S. Infantry of Crodius Giddings. And I know the regulars that marched into the wheat field were shot to pieces almost immediately when they showed up, and that's kind of what this indicates here, is that they moved in to support the 2nd Brigade of the 5th Corps, 2nd Division, and ended up getting just flanked and shot up on all sides. So although I don't think that happened here, I think it happened over this rise here and into the wheat field. So again, this is sort of an area of the battlefield I'm not entirely familiar with, so I'm going to do some more exploring. But yeah, I haven't really taken a stroll through the Valley of Death before, but that's what this is. So we will see what else I can find. So I'm standing here now at Ayres's divisional marker from the 5th Corps, and this was Day's, Burbank's, and Weed's brigades. Weed was killed up on the slopes of Little Round Top, if I remember correctly. Just reading the marker here. Support the 3rd Corps line, received the 3rd Brigade on the top of Little Round Top and occupied the summit and north slopes in time to repel an attack on the right of the 3rd Brigade, 1st Division. So the 3rd Brigade was up on Little Round Top. The other 2 brigades were fed into the meat grinder of the wheat field, which is just over, if the sun's not glaring out the camera too badly, just over through this tree line here. On the other side of these trees, straight across this field, is the wheat field, and that was where troops were just fed in throughout the course of the day, and ground up, just whole brigades getting chewed up by the wheat field combat from a number of different corps. And then back in this direction, I believe, is the Union line up to Cemetery Ridge. So this was kind of the end of the road for the Union troops, because you get to the other side of this ridge line here, this tree line, and you've got the Baltimore Pike. So that's what the Union was facing. And I believe down there is Crawford's monument, or his statue. And he was another of the divisional or brigade commanders, I'm not remembering off the top of my head, who continued to send troops into the Wheatfield. So here I am at the Weikert Farm, and this is looking back down that little path there. You can see the hill that I was on there, where the U.S. regulars crossed into the wheat field, as well as Crawford's brigade. This is on the other side of the road that runs around the back of, or that runs around, up the back of Little Round Top, which is just over there on the other side of those trees. These are all 6th Corps monuments, and they, once again, that anybody who was even at Gettysburg gets a monument. These guys of the 102nd Pennsylvania Infantry Regiment, they showed up on the morning of July 3rd and were posted on this line, and that's all. So same thing back there. That's another monument back there to the, I think the 98th Pennsylvania. Same deal. They showed up actually on the night of July 2nd, but I don't think saw any action here. They were simply posted on this line. I know some of these 6th Corps troops helped repulse with Crawford, and his counterattack helped counterattack the Confederates that were coming out of the wheat field, and stop the Confederate advance from breaking the Union line. But I don't know how heavily engaged most of these 6th Corps troops were. Nonetheless, they have large, imposing stone monuments here on the battlefield. So you show up, you get a monument,